And don't forget, we're Mark Thompson's bitches.
Another edition of Radio God Reacts coming at you right now. My name is Cody Walker.
My name is Ralph Busso.
And with us as
And
always.
my name is the radio god, Mark Thompson.
And on this show, ladies and gentlemen, we get together, we talk a little shit, we have a little fun, and we go over some artists that we absolutely think are ready and are kicking it and killing it and doing all of that good stuff. My friends, how you doing today?
You know, I find it unique that at the age of 65 and having done radio and been a music fan forever, metal has never been something that I gravitated toward. And I actually enjoy this because I'm learning new things about a form of music that's clearly been around for a very, very long time and always will be, because no matter what, metal, nothing has energy like metal. But it goes back to what I said last show, that it doesn't matter whether it's pop, country, metal, rhythm and blues, contemporary. If it's good, it's good.
Yep.
And if it ain't, it's shit in every category. So I dig what we're doing. I get a little lost when you guys start talking technicals and, you know, hey, I heard that double pump and that whatever.
Double pump.
I'm honestly listening for the whole package, for the whole thing. So I'm pumped about this.
Well, I think I'm still trying to get my foot under me on this one too. I'm not used to trying to, you know, give my thoughts while we're watching a video. I can usually sit and watch it a few times and kind of analyze it and do that kind of stuff. But to, you know, my first thought is, you know, everybody has their own opinion, so make it. But then I go, wait, no. This is what's cool about art is we have our own opinions and we have our own takes. You know, I went to school for music. I have a degree in music composition. So my brain kind of pulls away from the production sometimes. And it's like, well, why'd they play that? Or why'd they go there? You know, so I will go that way and then I'll go and turn around and look at it for the production. I did that with this video. I'm going to get into it with this next band we're going to talk about. But the, like the movie production of it as well. Like, why did the director of the music video decide to take this route with it? You know, what made them choose these visuals to go along with this song? You know?
Well, you know, Cody, if I've already said this, then edit this out.
Yes,
but
sir.
I don't think I have. I've always been intrigued about, especially when it comes to music, but movies too, the origin of things, where it started, where it began. You guys are too young, but there is an actor, also country artist. His name was Hoyt Axton. And you probably have seen him. You probably have heard him and you didn't know it. But his mother was a songwriter. Her name was Mae Axton.
Okay.
And one morning, it was Sunday, she didn't like sitting on the couch. She enjoyed sitting on the floor and reading her Sunday morning newspaper. So one Sunday morning, she was doing that and she saw an article about a guy who had committed suicide. And he left a note with one word, one sentence. And the sentence was, I walk a lonely street. And he killed himself. Something about that moved her. She picked up her notepad and pen. And with that line, I walk a lonely street, she wrote the song Heartbreak Hotel that made Elvis Presley a superstar.
Heartbreak Hotel. I'll make you so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could die.
And that was where it began. She wrote it in 15 minutes.
My God.
And now it's Heartbreak Hotel. And she says the line, it's in the song, I walk a lonely street. Very cool.
That's insane. That kind of stuff. And like you said, where does inspiration come from? Like, why does it grab somebody like that? you know.
Well, I too love the fact that just like her, some of the greatest songs in the world were written on the back of a paper bag in 8 minutes while riding a bus
No
or
joke.
whatever the case may be. And then there's songs that, I guess people toiled over for years. But yeah, some of the biggest hits we ever had were written in 10 minutes.
There's tons of them like that. Some of them you got to build either from the ground up and start with the root, which is basically like the foundation,
Yeah.
or you could take little pieces here and there. You see something that looks magnificent, you're going to go, you know what? I want to add to that and finish that art. Well, that's the same thing with music. Maybe you come up with a piece in your mind, you have a piece of poetry in your head, and that turns into a song, and that song could be just the one part. It could be the chorus, it could be a bridge, it could be the verse.
Yeah.
But it's a start. And if it's enough to ignite a fire within your soul, then it's a good start, and you're on your way towards making a song.
Yeah.
I will tell you something that fits into this conversation, in that we are all creatives, and we've talked a lot about the creative process. Because I enjoy the art form, I do writing. I do some writing. And what I have found through process of elimination, getting rid of things that don't work, I've found that if, let's say, for example, I'm doing some writing and I'm telling a story, I have found that instead of sitting contemplating, trying to figure out, how do I say this? How do I tell this story? I find what works for me is to sit at the keyboard and just start banging it out. Whatever you think of, it doesn't matter. As long as you're telling the story, just bang it out. Just keep typing, keep going.
Right.
And once you've finished, you look back at this, whatever it is that you've typed, because out of the 50 sentences that you've typed out, somewhere in those 50 is the nucleus, the gold that you've been looking for. And it's there, but you have to bang that out and then whittle it down until you find it.
Right.
And there it is. And then you kind of build from that backwards. I've been lucky in more times than I can count by doing it that way. Because a lot of times in the creative process, we get hung up on what it is that will get us to where we need to go.
Yeah.
You already have it. You just need to locate it. And I find by puking it out, it's in there somewhere. It's kind of like your dog eats your wife's wedding ring. And you wait for the dog to take a shit so you can go through every turd. But somewhere in the middle of one of those turds is that wedding ring. You just got to find it.
Well, I mean, yeah, dead on.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think you could have had a better analogy, because you got to go through.
Right. I love that
You
analogy.
do. You sometimes you got to
really
go
good.
through a pile of shit to find that diamond. But once you find
Because
the
which
diamond,
one
it's
of us
satisfying.
haven't gone through our dog shit? I mean, I know I love it.
I don't know about love it, but
All right.
Let's
I
get
guess
into
we
this.
should get into this, gentlemen.
absolutely.
See what we got going on here.
So, for today's band, I chose a little 4-piece band out of Maryland called Any Given Sin.
Any given sin.
Now, I picked this band because they actually came across Ralph's radar over when you heard them on Sirius, right?
Serious Octane.
Yeah.
I just heard them, and pretty immediately, man, they struck me as a band that had something special to them. So I was like, okay. So take a little bit of a deeper dive into these guys and see what happens.
Absolutely. Now, when I went and did the deeper dive, that's a hard sentence to say. These guys did a ton before even making their big push. They pulled something like 10 million Spotify streams and 2 million YouTube streams, and I believe they did that independently. I don't believe they got label assistance during that. I think they did that on their own, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that's ridiculous in terms of the business right now. Usually you gotta push. And then they got, like you said, they got pushed with Jose Mangin and Octane, and they're killing it on Sirius. So the fact,
who knows how that came together, but the bottom line is they seem to be doing well now.
Yeah.
People seem to be responding to them. But let's see what the radio god thinks about all of this, because that's the important part.
That is why we're here. Now, Mark, just so we're clear, have you looked at this video at all? Have you done any kind of research to get a taste?
I scanned it.
Okay.
I don't want to overly listen or look, because I want something fresh for when we do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sampled it. I looked at it. I'm looking forward to delving in with you two bitches.
How dare you, sir?
We officially made it to being coined bitches.
We're the bitches. We're officially bitches. So,
Right.
so for the people watching, that's the point. Like, I actually have watched this millions of times. Well, not millions. That's a little bit much. But
Millions
I've
of
watched it a
times.
bunch of times. I've done notes.
Now
I've
you've
looked.
answered the big question: how'd they get all those views?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
I'm a fan. What do you want me to do? No, I've done my research. I've looked through them, and then me and Ralph decide, and then we bring him to Mark. So I have a lot to say because I'm actually a fan. I want to see these guys even further, and we think Mark's going to dig them, and that's the point of the show. So Mark can give his open opinion, and we can move on. So that's what we're doing. Let's get it.
I think the well is running dry. Never a word without a lie. Still you fail to surrender. Everything's gone now. Everything's gone. Now the victim of playing one.
Okay. Holy Lord. Right off the bat, I'm going to say the dynamics. I love dynamics so much. I like rock bands. I like metal bands, but when a band decides to play loud and then soft and give me something to listen, it's interesting. There's movement, I thought they did that very well. It starts real heavy, but then drops down to that nice, almost a breakdown feel. You know what I mean?
That would seem to be why you and I get along so well, and we have the chemistry that we have, because I'm the same way. I love dynamics. If you're a band and you don't have dynamics, I'm probably not going to be that into you, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a fine line, I think, I mean, there's certain bands that are designed to be loud, but if you're going to be especially
But if that's it all the time, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, we're getting into an area that I can be a part, because you guys call it dynamics. I call it structure.
Same thing. Yeah.
So right off the bat, we've got a great lead vocalist, a wonderful voice, a great tonality, and he knows how to use that instrument. Any great song, regardless of what genre it is, has a certain structure that the listener grabs a hold of, and they either dig it or they don't. And what you guys are talking about, what Cody just said, I completely agree, in that you started with this explosion of music, and then you go down to a quieter thing where we can hear it. And Ralph just said something interesting, a point that I had about not only this song, but every metal drummer, in that if it's just a wall of sound, there's nothing to hold on to. And the one thing about metal drummers is that they love double bass. And if you constantly do that, there's nothing special. We can't hear you drumming. It's just this wall of drums.
Yeah.
And this song, yes, there is some double bass, but it's not just laid in like a street.
Right.
So this song I like a lot because we're able to hear certain dynamics, certain pieces, certain parts of the structure that allow us to grab a hold of it. This is strong so far.
Absolutely.
Unless they fuck it up. Which let's hope they don't.
Well, I will not spoil it for you. We will find out soon. The other thing I will to mention to that, it's like the other thing a dynamic says, it's very similar to a movie. When you change the tone of a movie, if it goes from a really bright scene to a dark scene, you're instantly going to feel there's mood changes, there's this and that and the other. When you have dynamics, even in a metal song, you're telling people where to pay attention, And if it's a wall of sound, everybody's just going to gravitate to what they gravitate to, you know, and that's fine. There's places for it. But if you're really trying to convey a message, which, you know, in this song is very artistic. I mean, right down to the you know, the lyrical content, you know, it's very about, we'll get into it in the final thoughts as we go, but they're building a central idea, both with the sound, the musical styling, and the lyrics. It's not just listen to the words and figure it out. You can hear everything building on itself. And I think it's very artistic and great.
There's a real artistic build. It's very artistic, poetic, if you will, in the sense, and it, you know, it's probably, you know, the recipe for a hit, honestly, to take something and give people the power of the beginning. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where the whole band is just going at it. And then, you know, and they have those subtleties like the keyboards, the synths, the strings, whatever's in there, that dun, 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 you know what I mean? It's going up and down, and it sounds really cool. That's going with it. And then when he comes in, he's all gentle. He's all da, 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 da. You know what I mean? He's all telling the story really softly and gentle, and then he takes it up a notch and he just starts elevating it, and it's just so powerful.
Well, now that you brought that up, Ralph, if you think about it, and we can keep this in mind as we watch the rest of it, because I am not, I mean, I have a college education, but apparently I'm not too educated, because I had to look up exactly what Insidious meant. I didn't know what it meant. I was like, it's a cool word. But basically, for those who don't know, it's slowly progressing over time with harmful effects. It's a paraphrase, but that's generally what it is. So with that in mind, we started slow. The dude was tied up with some stuff, and slowly we're building, like Ralph said, we're building, so it's kind of infecting what's going on. And if you watch, as we watch, keep that in mind, because they do it in the video, they'll do it in musically, and he does it lyrically. We're touting him, but it's there. Moving into the next spot, yeah?
Now the victim of playing one, still too blind to sing the song, and you fail to remember everything's gone now. Everything's gone. I have nowhere left to crawl inside. Shattered heart still breaking, lying from where you're fading into dust. You are insidious.
Well, I'm really digging the flow of the song, though, man.
Oh yeah.
In many ways, it's a perfect song. I mean, we could go into we could go down a big, you know, rabbit hole with that, but on the level of just like a radio song, something that just, you know, to listen to in the morning before you get up and go to work and do your thing or whatever, it's a perfect song, man.
And the wolf puts on his robe, for the flock it seeks to go. Another flame for the tender. Everything's gone now. Everything's gone.
It's really got a
Well,
good...
again, I return to the lead vocalist. Really, really strong voice on this guy. Knows his range, stays within it, doesn't push. Love that. From an area that I came from early on as a music director, and going back to structure, this song has a very strong hook. And it's that piece in the middle where the song, you know, starts soft and it goes into the hook, into that bridge, if you will.
Technically, it's a
and
pre-chorus.
usually the bridge will pop up two, three, four times in a song, and the hook is what either makes or breaks a radio hit. This song has that, and it has a really good one. And to go back to last week when we talked about that band that we played, this is a song that if I were still working at a top 40 station as a music director, this song I would play at night. I would start, because again, top 40, like this song on a top 40 station would never be played in the morning ever, no matter how big it was. But if it were a hit, it would probably start in the afternoon.
Forgive me for interrupting you, Mark, but what's the reason for that? Because you've mentioned that a couple of times now, and I want to know what the reason for that is exactly.
Because, well, again, only from top 40 radio, only then. the mentality is you've got adults in the morning getting ready for work, and they're primarily interested in information, a couple of jokes. They don't want anything heavy. They want something just light. But then as you progress into the afternoon and especially the evening, they're awake, they're up, and your age demographic has changed. Most kids don't listen to morning radio, especially on a top 40. They're probably going to check it out in the afternoon driving home from school, and then listening a lot while they're doing their homework. So you can get away, because you're into another demographic. You can give them something like this. Even on top 40, you can give them a good metal song, a good hard rock song, and they dig it and they love it. And then if you put it out there for them and you start getting calls for it throughout the day, you've got a hit. And then we start moving into the afternoon, and who knows, depending on the song, it could make mornings, but this one would never.
Well, what do you think about these guys? Do these guys fall under heavy metal for you?
Hard rock.
Hard rock? Okay.
Hard rock. So because, see, again and again, not having the parameter of knowing the definition of it, metal is just this wall.
Right.
This is I can hear this. I hear the lyrics. I respect the vocals. The structure is great. This is a hard rock song. To me, this isn't metal, but it probably is. But this is a good a good song that I can hear, and I like it.
Yeah, I agree with Mark. I would not classify this as a metal song. This is I
No,
mean,
but the lines do cross each other.
oh yes,
don't they,
there's a
Cody?
blending. I mean, even in the pre-choruses, those little chug riffs are very dun 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 dun. Those are very those stop time riffs are very metal in nature, but they use them in a hard rock nature, so it doesn't come off metal. They made a small movie to match the song and the lyrics of whatever he's doing. My hat's off to whoever did the video, because it is a small movie.
You are insidious. Sow your seeds, then poison shade, show the choice in all of us. You are insidious. I think the well is running dry. Never went without a lie. Still you fail to surrender. Everything's gone.
I'm impressed as shit.
It's just a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good hook, and he keeps going back to it. Great vocals. It's not just a wall of sound where you can't hear anything. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good song and a good effort by these guys. I will tell you, Any Given Sin, boys, well done. Anybody in any form of entertainment business, even, you have to fight and claw. You hear no a lot from a lot of people. And anybody who's ever made it had that. They heard that and they didn't accept it. I'll tell you a story. There's a great newscaster, radio and television. His name was Paul Harvey. And Paul would do his noon broadcast, and it lasted 15 minutes. And he would always end with a little story, a little 30-second, 60-second story. And I never forgot this for some reason, because it rang true. Paul Harvey said, you ever been in a movie theater and you're watching a movie and you're watching a particular actor play the part, and you lean over to your partner and you say, I could do better than that. I could have done better than this guy's doing. And then Paul Harvey said, that may be true, but you have to remember that the guy that's on the screen is the one that knocked on the doors and heard no and kept fighting. He's the one that's on the screen. You're not. So if you really believe what you said, do something about it. Paul Harvey, good day. I never forgot those. Those are really true words. These guys, Any Given Sin, anybody who's made any kind of splash heard no a million times and just refused to hear that. Okay, it's no with you, but I'll find somebody who'll say yes. And so, from my side of it, it's got to keep plugging. This is great. Well done. Impressed and pleased with what I heard.
Absolutely killing it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, shout out to Any Given Sin. Great work, brothers. We will be watching them and seeing their progression. And until next time, we'll find another band for you guys. I am just stuttering all the way through this.
Try it again, bro. Let's do it one more time. Because you stumbled on a few words.
All right, here we go.
Let's just have a fun.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the official ending of the show, here's Cody.
Okay, I can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for another episode. No. Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you guys are killing
me. No, this is perfect. And now, because you're going to keep this whole segment.
Yeah.
And now, with the official ending, here is take 2 of Cody with the official ending. Go, Cody.
Thank you once again for joining us on a brilliant episode of Radio God React. No,
there's too much emphasis on the word joining.
Okay,
here we go.
Okay, my bad.
Take 3.
I need direction. Wait, I need direction. What? Give me a line read here, for fuck's sake.
Just say joining quickly. Say it as fast as you can when you get in.
Challenge
no matter
accepted.
what happens, this is the final one. Here now with the official ending is take 3 with
I got this.
Cody.
Thank you once again for joining Radio God Reacts with myself, Ralph Busso, and Mark Thompson. We will have other bands on the way. Shout out to Any Given Sin. I am so fucking flustered right now. We will catch you guys on the next time. And until then, fucking peace. Goddamn, Mark.
Hell yeah, peace.